Welcome, dear listeners, to Whispers in the Dark, the channel where the shadows come alive and the secrets of the unknown are unraveled one story at a time. Tonight, we journey to the desolate deserts of Nevada, where the sands whisper of an unthinkable event. Hidden deep beneath the surface lies the Orien facility, a place cloaked in secrecy, a fortress where humanity dared to imprison something they didn't understand. What began as science and discovery ended in chaos and fear. They thought it was secure. They thought it couldn't escape. But what happens when the unimaginable breaks free? So dim the lights, lean in close, and prepare yourself. This is the tale of the alien that escaped captivity, and the havoc it left behind. It was 2:42 a.m. when the alarms blared through the Orien facility, the immense, heavily secured underground research complex hidden deep within the Nevada desert. The lights flickered as an eerie hum echoed through the metal hallways. Deep within one of the high-security holding cells, an entity that no human had ever truly understood prepared to break free from its chains. An alien known only as Subject 37. Subject 37 had been in captivity for over 5 years, studied by the world's most advanced scientists and military experts. Its features were a bizarre mix of humanoid and reptilian. Its skin, an iridescent, shifting shade of violet and green, pulsating faintly under the sterile lights. Its eyes were large and black, devoid of any trace of emotion, and it communicated through a strange clicking language that none had been able to decipher. For most of its imprisonment, it had been drugged, confined to a containment cell reinforced with layers of titanium and electromagnetic fields. But something had changed in the last few months. It had begun to exhibit signs of intelligence that suggested an understanding of the human language, the sounds it had overheard, and even an awareness of its captor's weaknesses. Subject 37 had watched the technicians move in and out of its cell with growing disdain, its mind working on a plan. The night it escaped began as any other, dark, quiet, but there was a moment when everything changed. The strange hum in the air, which had been constant, began to shift, growing louder and more erratic. It was a signal, a break in the power grid, triggered by the alien's subtle manipulation of its containment field. The containment system shorted, just long enough for Subject 37 to free itself from the shackles and the artificial inhibitors that had been suppressing its abilities. The air around it crackled with an unnatural energy as its mind reached out, manipulating the facility's equipment with terrifying precision. The magnetic locks on its cell door broke with a deafening snap, and the door groaned open. The alien's first step outside its cell was measured. Its senses sharpened, feeling the vibrations of the floor beneath its feet, hearing the quiet hum of security systems struggling to reboot. It clicked its mandibles, a strange, rhythmic sound, and moved down the hallway with calculated speed. The first guard it encountered was on routine patrol. He never stood a chance. Subject 37 reached out with its long, spindly fingers, and in a split second, the guard's body spasmed violently. The alien had learned how to manipulate the electrical impulses within the human nervous system. The guard collapsed, twitching uncontrollably on the floor, his body jerking before it fell still. With the guard dispatched, Subject 37 moved further into the facility, making its way toward the main control room. The metallic hallways seemed eerily quiet as it passed through them, the sound of its steps muffled by the thick layers of reinforced flooring. The walls buzzed with the energy of the trapped power grid. It reached the security hub and paused. Inside, several technicians were frantically trying to restore the system. The door to the control room was thick, but not impervious. With a sudden surge of energy, Subject 37 extended its mind, causing the locks to bend and warp, distorting the metal with its psychic force. The door fell inwards, and the technicians inside barely had time to react before the alien entered. One by one, the technicians were incapacitated, their minds overwhelmed by waves of psychic energy. The alien made sure to leave none alive. It then accessed the control systems, hacking into the facility's mainframe. A deep, resonant hum vibrated through the walls as Subject 37's mind interfaced with the complex. The lights blinked erratically as the alien initiated a shutdown sequence. With the facility's security systems compromised, the alien's next target was clear: the experimental containment chamber. It was the location of the most dangerous and volatile research: weaponized viruses, experimental biological entities, and technology that could alter the fabric of reality. All of it was housed there, guarded by layers of encrypted security systems, automated drones, and armed guards. Subject 37's mind worked quickly. The first layer of security, drones patrolling the area, was swiftly disabled. The alien manipulated their circuits, overriding their systems with ease, transforming them into extensions of its will. They fell to the ground, lifeless and useless. As the alien approached the chamber, the second line of defense engaged. A set of automated turrets mounted along the walls, their sensors tracking every movement. With a wave of its hand, Subject 37 sent an electrical pulse through the turrets, short-circuiting them in seconds. Inside the chamber was the weaponized virus, contained in a suspended state. Subject 37, despite its alien nature, had developed a sense of cruelty over the years. It wanted more than freedom, it wanted destruction. With a flick of its fingers, it released the virus from its containment unit. The virus, capable of mutating and spreading through the air, was now free to begin its work. Subject 37 did not stop there. Its next move was catastrophic. It made its way to the ventilation system, and with a wave of its hand, it began to flood the air ducts with the deadly virus. In mere moments, it had spread throughout the facility, its effects taking hold with alarming speed. Outside, military personnel were already arriving, responding to the breach. They were too late. The viral contamination spread faster than anyone could have predicted. The alien's influence was not limited to just biological manipulation. Subject 37 had been learning from the humans, understanding their weaknesses, exploiting them. The security teams fell quickly. Their own weapons were used against them, with the alien twisting their minds and manipulating their bodies as though they were nothing more than puppets. One soldier attempted to launch a missile strike against the facility, but Subject 37 simply reversed the targeting systems, redirecting the missile back at the base. The explosion tore through the underground levels, sending shockwaves that rattled the surface. On the outside, the chaos began to ripple outward as power grids across the region began to fail and transportation systems collapsed under the alien's influence. With the facility in ruins, Subject 37 stood alone in the midst of it all, observing the devastation it had wrought. As the dust settled and the alarms began to fade, Subject 37 walked to the surface. The moonlight washed over its shimmering skin, casting strange reflections on the alien's figure. It had escaped. It had wrought havoc, but in the quiet aftermath, the alien paused. Its mission was complete, but for the first time in years, it allowed itself a moment of reflection. It had wanted freedom, but in doing so, it had destroyed everything in its path. As the world outside the Orien facility plunged into chaos, Subject 37 felt a pang of something it had never experienced before, a strange sense of loss. It turned and vanished into the desert night, leaving behind only the wreckage it had created, the shattered lives, and the unanswered questions of what truly lurked in the vastness of space. The nightmare had only just begun. And so, the story of the alien's escape from the Orien facility comes to an end, for now. What lies beyond the desert night, only time will reveal, or perhaps it's better not to know. If you enjoyed uncovering this chilling tale, don't forget to like this video, share it with those who crave the eerie unknown, and subscribe to Whispers in the Dark. Stay curious, stay cautious, and always keep an ear out for the whispers in the dark.